Good evening. My name is Kristen Brown. I'm the chair of the Community Advisory Committee for Special Education, and we're going to start the meeting. I planned to show a video that unfortunately is about 10 minutes long, so we're going to skip it tonight. But if you have the opportunity, the 8 insider tips for navigating IEP meetings, it's helpful if you're a parent to watch. I was glad to watch it again last night because I have an IEP meeting tomorrow. It just helps you organize your thoughts and feel prepared going into the IEP. For teachers and administrators, what's lovely about this video is it gives you very much a parent perspective of what a parent is expecting coming in, and also some of our shortcomings as parents going into IEPs that maybe you could help with your facilitation of the IEP meeting. Okay.
Can I put a plug in for the Family University on November 23rd? That also covers the IEP process, so
Right.
people are interested.
Thank you. Thank you. Is she not coming to?
Veronica can't make it tonight.
Okay. Thank you. So welcome to the Community Advisory Committee for Special Education, or less of a mouthful, CACSE. I'm calling to the second meeting of the school year to order at 6:02. As we have grown in size as a group, we need to veer away from introductions of everybody. So I was just going to ask, if this is your first meeting, if you could take a moment to introduce yourself. Anyone new today? Okay. All right. All right. I see we have a quorum. All members should have a copy of the agenda to be approved. As we go through the business of approving our agenda, I invite everyone to revisit our purpose of meeting. They're the laminated, the pretty purple, lovely lavender laminated purpose of meetings in front of you on the tables and also up here on the screen. This is nice and big, thank you. We need to approve the October 7th agenda. Were there any changes to the agenda? Okay.
That's clarifying, so it says it's a board meeting, but this isn't a board meeting, it's a community advisory meeting?
On the agenda it says?
Agenda.
Okay. I'm sorry, that was just a...
Okay. I don't remember seeing that before.
No, you're right. It should just be a community advisory committee meeting.
Thank you.
Sorry for that. So if we could correct that from the agenda. So without the word board in the header, can we have a motion for members to approve the October 7th agenda?
I move to approve the meeting agenda as amended.
Okay, thank you, Sandra. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second.
Okay, Diana, you had 2 seconds. Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you. We also need to approve the minutes from the June and August meetings. I emailed copies out to all members and friends of the CACSE and hope that you've had time to review these documents. Were there any changes on the June minutes? No. Any changes on the August minutes? Yes.
So in the section where it says introductions with hopes, says introductions until 6:30, because of parents, I would like for us to change that wording. This statement says the child is not getting services, which is actually not true at all.
Right.
So I think maybe just stopping after serious concern,
Okay.
because I don't know that.
And taking out the remainder of the language there?
Yeah, I don't know that meeting with Seth is really appropriate to put in the minutes, and then there's just some of the details I find concerning. So
We're a bit over.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So we're amending the August meetings to, after just stating that a parent spoke, to just eliminate the rest of the language about.
Yeah, so just say like a parent was with concerns spoke
Okay.
for a
Period.
significant amount of time, or
Period. Okay.
thank you.
Okay. That should be fine.
Say went outside one-on-one with the district?
I don't think that should be added in, I just feel like that's sort
Yeah,
of.
I think the purpose of that is to not,
Confidentiality.
yeah. Okay, so, first, do we have a motion to approve the June minutes as is?
I move to approve the June minutes as is.
Okay, and seconded? Okay, seconded by Rebecca.
As amended.
And then the August ones as amended.
Right.
Okay, Aaron has a motion to move that we accept the August ones as amended, seconded. Rebecca, okay, thank you, Rebecca. All right, then I'll ask the district to post links to both of those in English and Spanish when the minutes are translated.
Do you want to vote on that?
Sorry,
Do you want to vote on that?
vote on what?
All in favor?
All in favor, sorry,
It's okay.
thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Any
Any opposed or abstaining? Okay, thank you. Oh, too many things here. Okay. So, good. So it's not unusual, as we talked about, for a parent to attend our first meeting with an individual concern, hoping for us to address it. We found that we're unable to properly attend to these individual matters during our meetings, but would like to know your concerns to address it. So we've provided some half sheets in purple up front. If you have an issue, just if you could turn it into myself or Rebecca. And maybe it'd be easier for you to talk to someone. So are there any CAC members who are willing to stay after to assist parents that might need assistance? Okay. Thank you, Diana. Myself, I put in that I'm standing for that. Okay. So the purple half sheets, let's see. We will get those into the special education offices, and they get back to, they do their best to get back to you within 48 hours. We will try to generalize these issues and their solutions to share at the November meeting so that privacy is respected. And on that note, a parent did bring up issues as we were talking about in the minutes. We appreciate that there was a lot to say, and it was full of a lot of private detail for the student. So we edited those comments out of our YouTube posting of our meeting. Our understanding is the school site staff had already been doing a lot that they could to support the student, and they continue to work with this parent and youth. We're still trying to help this parent connect with outside resources that might be able to meet the needs that are just beyond what school sites can offer. But that meeting made it clear that this committee needs to set up meeting norms. Yay! So I ask you all to have input. Committee leaders have determined 3. One is asking that one person speaks at a time. Assume positive intentions, and that we speak clearly and at a moderate pace that allows for translation. Are there other meeting norms that anyone would like to add? Or have we captured it all for you?
Keep an open mind.
Keep an open mind. Okay. All right. Good.
We can add this, okay.
I'd say respect time limits that are asked for.
Okay.
It's probably a better way to word that, but
No.
We can always refine later if needed. Don't judge my nice writing.
That doesn't need to be in the meeting norms.
So are you saying just go by the minutes that are in the agenda, or to allow the chair to kind of direct the flow?
Be respectful of time limits. I think that,
yeah, I'm just thinking to the issue that we had in the last meeting that was,
right.
clear that public comment was for a certain amount of time and each person was given a certain amount, and that clearly
That went beyond.
went you know,
Okay.
a little, there should be a little wiggle room, I think, as those situations happen, but to go way out of bounds, there should be more of a boundary there.
I agree. Okay. Anything else? Great. If you think of one, do not be shy to put it on a Post-it and slap it on there for us, okay? All right.
I would like to just tweak the first one,
Great.
assume positive intent.
Intent, period. Okay? Great. Thank you. Okay, we do open our meetings to public and invite anyone to share comments. So this goes back to respecting the 2 minutes, because we ask you that you please consider keeping your comments within 2 minutes. Raise your hand if you have a comment you wish to share. Okay. I had, well, I'll get to that, I guess, under subcommittees. All right. Moving along then, we're plowing through this. Okay. Announcements and reports. We've already heard about family engagement on November is 23rd. They're doing part of their family engagement's a great opportunity to learn more about district programs. It's last year it was consistently at Hoover Middle School, and this year and they started the year with inviting different the PTA, the Community Advisory Committee, DLAC to present on their committees. This year we've asked that they present the district to work with us on doing a presentation on the IEP process, because we didn't get that request in with our parent request for our information nights, and we have tended to have IEP on our agenda every other year, and we didn't want to skip it this year. We didn't want a 2-year gap, because that's information that parents regularly need. We constantly have a heavy flow of parents going into get new to the IEP process. All right. Was there anything else that Veronica Lar wanted to share about family engagement that you know?
That was all.
Okay. Seth, you're talking later. Did you have anything you wanted to say now, or did you?
Just one other thing, we had a great kickoff meeting with Special Olympics for this school year.
Great.
So most of the activity happens in the spring, actually all of it,
Okay.
other than the planning, so more to come. But excited to expand their footprint here in the district.
And which school sites are they going to work with this year?
We're still finalizing that.
Okay.
I'll know after we have a meeting at the end of this month to just lock down all the
Okay.
details. Yeah, but the games will be, I think they're all after March next year.
Okay.
Sometime March or April.
That's great. That's great. I know that Pam Foley, before she left, said we need to get it into our
Yeah.
school sites, so that would be great. Wonderful. Well, that's great news. Thank you. Leo.
Hi.
Hi. Can I put?
My update.
Yes, please.
Okay, I have maybe 2 or 3 things. The first thing is our local plan committee meetings. I reached out to SEPA,
Yeah.
not SEPA, CAC
CAC.
leadership about the dates that are coming up, and a representative from CAC to participate in the local plan committee. And wanted to make sure that everyone heard about that. We have 3 dates. We are converting some of our operations committee meeting because it's hard to find dates. So it's going to be October 18th, December 12th, and February 28th. CDE has not released the template.
Oh, okay.
So I haven't checked today if they put it on the website, but I checked my email. I haven't received an official notification.
Mm-hmm.
I have an idea of what they are planning to put on their template. So I'm gonna focus on the ones that are easy first on our first meeting. That way we have some successes, because I don't know what changes they will come up with.
Okay.
Especially on the governance structure of the local plan. I don't wanna start working on something big and then CDE comes back and says that's not gonna be on the template. So we'll focus on the ones that we know, or the ones that are minor fixes or easy fixes.
Okay, but the first date is October 18th,
October
right?
18th.
Okay, so October 18th, and all these meetings are to start at 1 p.m. The expectation is they'll be 30 to 45 minutes long. They'll all be held here at the district offices, October 18th, December 13th, and February 28th.
We'll do one date.
Okay,
We'll
well,
start off with October 18th.
Okay. Okay, well then tentatively to the other two dates. That's
October
what,
18th at 1 p.m.
sorry, you'd sent me the two other dates.
Yes, my October, and then December
13th?
December 12th.
12th, okay.
Okay.
That's different than what I was given, but good, okay.
But I'll double check with Marjorie, and I'll make
Okay.
sure we send that to you.
All right,
Because I have December 12th on my calendar.
okay.
They're always on the same day of first month.
The week?
Like they're,
Same day.
the last one is February 28th, which is a Friday.
Okay,
The December is kind of off because we usually don't have operations meeting on December. That's an added date, so it throws us off.
okay.
Can you clarify how many people are on that committee?
Oh, I don't have the numbers yet, but I'm getting at least one rep from CAC.
Right, so our subcommittee, I think, is 3 of us, though.
I didn't get that email.
Okay.
I'll circle, can I circle?
Well, I mean, at the last meeting when people signed up for subcommittees, I thought that we had 3 names on the list for the
Okay,
subcommittee.
the only reason I'm asking for fewer people is that the more people we involve in a big document,
Uh-huh,
it might take longer. So can I circle back to you on the number of reps from CAC?
okay. Yes, you can.
Okay. And then because I'm still waiting for district reps as well.
Okay,
I haven't gotten names, so I'll follow up.
okay. Well, we have a nice, lovely space to. All right. School board, Brian.
Good evening, everybody. I have to keep straight in my head because in my day job, we have a board meeting this Thursday, but the San Jose Unified School Board meeting is next Thursday, the 17th. Then I think I've shared with this body that I'm, one of my hats that I wear is I'm on the CTA State Council, and I'm a part of the Caucus of Educators of Exceptional Children. So another hard acronym to remember, CEEC. And so I post things that I receive periodically, and I just thought this was so sweet that if I were still in the classroom, I would absolutely use this. I'll put them in the back if you're curious, but basically it's the idea that telling a child to calm down isn't really helpful, and I just absolutely love this.
I said that at a board meeting.
I was doing this for myself. So for example, if you're just right, you're Superman. Nothing can bring me down. I'm a man of steel and feel on top of the world. I won't read all of them. But the other end, out of control, I'm the Hulk. I feel like I'm about to explode. I feel completely overwhelmed and may become unsafe. But it's just something for kids to be able to, and I just thought it was so cool. So I'll put it in the back. If it appeals to you, take one. It's my teacher brain.
That's
Thank you
great.
very much.
Thank you for bringing that in to share. All right. So CAC subcommittees, for the education programs, we're working with Yolanda over at PHP. She teaches a 10-hour course on maladaptive behavior and proper responses that a few of us are taking over there. She is willing to do her best to try to get what she accomplishes in 10 hours down to 90 minutes. So we will get the abridged version of behaviors, but that is in December. At least I remember it as being in December. At the November meeting, we're still working with, we had someone that was willing to Skype in to offer us a teaching on the subject that evening is students, when to let them know about their diagnosis. I think a lot of parents struggle with that, and I think administrators struggle with parents who are trying to figure that out too. So, but she's now had a conflict, so I have to find somebody else to come in. So I wish I had a name to throw out tonight, but I don't. So moving on, legislative subcommittee.
Okay,
David.
we have in the back room effort for you guys to more completely understanding legislative process. And if we need to get some more, we can.
These are pamphlets that Canson Chub has produced on the legislative process. And we'll have those also at our coffee where we talk about the whole process,
Yeah.
right? That taking advocacy to the next level.
Me, I go in this team, I'm planning to have a copy and how to engage the legislative process
Great,
in your town.
okay. Thank you. Governor Newsom has signed in a couple bills. On September 6th, he signed in AB 605. September 5th. It's allowing students with assistive technology devices, and this bill mandates that we will now have students allowed to take these devices home. So what's nice about that is it's a mandate, which means there is the district has a right to ask for funding to supplement for this service. But, particularly students that are nonverbal, that rely on assistive technology to communicate, to be able to take that home. But my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, we've been doing that? Is that true?
Yep.
So this won't be a huge change for us, except that we can maybe get some money from the state to supplement if things get broken, or, which will be nice. Then October 3rd, AB 1505, it's a charter school legislation that was passed. Brian, did you want to talk about this at all? I know you've been...
I can, sure.
Okay.
So this is the first time the charter law has been changed in something like 27 years, if I'm correct. So what has, the overarching change is that the State Board of Ed has been taken out of the process. Currently, if a school is interested in bringing their charter forward, they start at the local school board, and then if that decision is yes, they are the authorizers and it proceeds. If that decision is no, it goes to the county. And previously, if that decision is no, it could go to the state, and the state could plunk a charter down back in the original school district. So now the state's out of the business of authorizing charters. There's more in the weeds stuff about a local school district, a local trustee can look at the financial impacts, whereas previously we were not allowed to think about that, which is always interesting when they say, don't think about that stuff, because that's human nature, right? That's right away what you think about. And also around what the district is already providing, so is this actually something new? And there's more stuff kind of in the weeds, but that's kind of the overarching, probably enough for now.
I think what resonated with me is there's more accountability. So the state will be better monitoring some of their numbers, right? And which is important we've had some charter schools that won't counsel out, I should say, families with students with disabilities.
Yeah.
So there'll be more oversight, and they'll be noticing that. So I think that's significant to this community.
Be more in depth in the reporting of some of those.
Right, and that their board now needs to follow the Brown Act and all that stuff, because they've been
some
having.
of that was the previous legislation, but
Yeah.
also very important. Yeah.
Okay, and then I forgot to mention AB 630, which I almost overlooked, but it includes educational psychologists. And basically, starting in July of 2020, there'll be they need to supply a prior written notice regarding the Board of Behavioral Sciences that receives and responds to complaints. So you should be getting a notice with those assessments I've never had cause to complain, but that there's a source for you to complain to if there's any issues, okay?
What was that board, please? Board of...
So, the Board of Behavioral Sciences is the governing board for educational psychologists. Which was news to me. I didn't know that. Did you?
Did not.
Yeah. This is what happens when we follow the legislature a little bit. Huh? This is good. Erin, did you have anything to report?
No, DC is a bit tumultuous right now. That doesn't mean that something couldn't happen, it just is not expected.
Okay.
As sort of been said before, but keep moving with whatever legislative bodies you have or committees to get traction or language, but nothing big has happened. There's been some stuff with, it's open for public comment, and I've forgotten the name of the law right now regarding some funding for some stuff happening. But it's just open for public comment, and I will try to look through my emails and find that.
Okay.
But nothing that was super pertinent to this.
Thank you, Erin. All right. Rebecca, did you have anything to add to that? Okay. I have your notes, so I have the disadvantage there. I've disadvantaged you there, I should say. Okay. So local plan and policy review, we talked about those opportunities. I did want to mention that we understand that the SELPA, the budget the district offers is just enough to cover our meetings. So I'm really attached to the idea of this welcome binder that another district has given out. When I priced it out, my estimate is it's going to take about $4,000 to fill the 300 maybe plus of these binders that would need to go to families. So this would involve a new subcommittee, figuring out how to do fundraising. Really fun. You could be a rock star, because imagine at your first IEP if you got a binder welcoming you with all the information that you needed. And I think it would be a nice resource to develop that template of just contacts so that the site administrators have those, can just plug in the contacts of the site and hand it to parents, because I think parents ask for that a lot and it takes time to assemble. So I'm going to pass this around, bat my eyes like this at you, and ask if you're interested in launching something like this, if you would join me on a subcommittee for that, okay? So,
Is that per year, or is there, what's the
so
cost?
we have about, I estimate about 300 new a year, right? So this would be welcoming them into the IEP process. It's overwhelming as a parent, you know that, I know that. We would work, so NIMH has beautiful listing of just kind of the fact sheets on different disabilities that would help a parent focus on something that's a little less overwhelming than Googling it, because that gets you into scary land sometimes on disabilities. So it's a nice way to start and let them know that this is the general understanding of these disabilities that we have, and we're going to start from here as we build getting to know your family and your student and growing together. Yes?
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Given that this is kind of a welcome to our district and, you know, I see this as coming from the district, why is this something we would need as parents to fundraise for versus just being provided by our district?
Well,
Yeah, I was gonna sort of ask a similar question. I think Kristen, maybe you and I should chat a little bit about this, because
I have been asking for over a year.
yeah,
So.
yeah, let's just chat a little bit about maybe the logistics of it, because I'm not sure, how it would work exactly, so,
Okay,
yeah,
I'm happy to have that conversation again. Great.
yeah, maybe Friday we can talk.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay, next is publicity. We had to cancel our PHP table. That was last Saturday because life was happening. I have 2 kids with bronchitis. But hopefully, if you had an opportunity to go to PHP and explore the resources they have, it's always a great opportunity to learn about resources in our community. I'm on a parent panel for if you have a student with autism, a child with autism, and have attended the autism support group there. I've been invited to be on a panel this Thursday. I will have CAC stuff with me, so I'm looking forward to promoting our CAC. But and I borrowed a lot of language about the SELPA and CAC from the guidelines that were written back in 2011. So I'm looking forward to being part of that panel and learning from the other moms and dads that are on that panel, and hearing what the community is facing. So, all right, our last meeting, we said that, we agreed that it's probably not the best idea that all of our officers are set at every 2 years to vote in all new officers, that this is not a healthy way to have a committee. And I have, oh good, I do have. So, Rebecca, I'm going to ask you to not trip over the wire for the camera. And could you hand those out to all the members? These are the 3 people that have agreed to these officer roles. We have Kristen Boyd for secretary, and she's at a funeral tonight and couldn't be here. Pedro Alvarez, who's willing to be our treasurer, and he is doing the quarterly accounting for his business and couldn't be here tonight, so he sends his regrets. And we have our parliamentarian, Diana Lane, the present and able. But I did not get other names sent in to me over the course of the last month plus. So I decided, rather than saving you the trouble of yes, no on all of these, to just add a checkbox on the bottom that if you're voting them all in, to just mark yes. So if you could get those in to either Rebecca or myself, that would be great. And we're going to take a 10-minute break. We are running early today, which is nice. So if you're hungry or thirsty, please get a drink, some water, get your votes in to Rebecca or I, and we'll take a 10-minute break and then I'll hand it over to Seth. If there's time remaining at the end, we were asked at the end last year if we could please come up with a mission statement. So if their time allows, we'll get to that tonight. So please stay with us. Thank you.
I'll put him in.
You should have him point. Point.
Just put everybody in. I didn't make it.
The ballot.